Summertime is a great time in London. Activities abound with people enjoying the outdoors. Regardless of their season, there's always interest, tourists, surrounding Buckingham Palace, but summer brings more good weather activities. Trafalgar Square is busy with people feeding the pigeons. However, summertime brings artists drawing in chalk on the sidewalk. Goodwin's Court is a narrow passageway running between St. Martin's Lane and Bedfordbury. The entrance is through an alley with contemporary buildings and bow-fronted windows. Hyde Park brings picnicking, dining at the Serpentine Bar and Kitchen, rowing and paddleboarding. These are all activities that go beyond the usual strolling or biking in the central London park. At Hyde Park Corner, there's the Australian War Memorial. Nicely done, and it ends at Wellington Arch. Enjoy the architecture of the city, Westminster's white buildings, the iconic red phone booths and double-decker buses. At night, you may be fortunate enough to see the London Bridge opening to let boats pass by. If it's raining, don't fret. There are always great exhibits to be found in the Royal Academy of Arts, other museums, and of course, loads of West End plays. Wimbledon is the oldest tennis tournament in the world, widely regarded as the most prestigious. It's been held at the All England Club in Wimbledon, London since 1877 and is played on grass courts. Being one of the 500,000 spectators passing through the gates each year makes it no less of a bucket list item. Rather than buying the tickets through Ticketmaster or a third-party broker, I chose to hit the queue line, where for one low fee, spectators have access to everything except inside center court and court 3. Even then, it's hard to feel like you're missing out, as those games are played on a live screen in the beautiful grassy picnic area. There are traditions that have stuck through Wimbledon's 141-year history. All players still wear white. The events are referred to as gentlemen's or ladies' events. Strawberries and cream are an essential part of the tournament food, with 9,000 servings prepared daily. There are 250 15-year-old ball boys and girls employed each year. And this is the only Grand Slam which is patronized by a royal family seated in a royal box. Now, I didn't see any members of the royal family, but I did set eyes on Richard Branson. Today, Intrepid Travel takes a jaunt to the Ashford Castle in Mayo County, the home of Ireland's first falconry school. The majesty of big birds swooping down from the trees and landing on your gloved arm is like none other. The woodland grounds of the Ashford Castle make for a beautiful outdoor adventure. Our instructor Jamie introduces us to the hawks, where we're assigned one to fly with. Harris hawks make for great flyers. With their exceptional eyesight, they come straight to the glove with speed and agility to eat their dinner. The best part of the session, however, was meeting Dingle. He's a lazy European eagle owl, but stellar to watch nibbling on his food. With this experience, you can understand why falconry has enthralled people for 4,000 years. Over 130 museums in the Greater Paris region, where does one go? The Musée Jacques-Marc André is a private museum that was once the home of Edward André and his wife Nellie Jacques-Marc, both avid art collectors in Paris towards the end of the 19th century. Edward André came from a banking family and devoted his considerable fortune to buying works of art. He married a well-known society painter, Nellie Jacques-Marc, who had painted his portrait 10 years earlier. Every year, the couple would travel in Italy, amassing one of the finest collections of Italian art in France. When Edward died, Nellie traveled to the Orient to add more precious works to the collection. Faithful to their plan, she bequeathed the mansion and its collections to the Institute of France as a museum, opened to the public in 1913. The staterooms were for formal receptions. They reflect their fascination for the French school of painting and 18th century decorative art. The fumoir was the smoking room that entertained many. The informal apartments gave the feel of a family home, including a room where Nellie painted, and an antechamber or game room. A double circular staircase leads to the Italian Museum with sculptural masterpieces, a Florentine gallery of religious themes, and a Venetian gallery with a coffer ceiling. The musicians area is where performances would regularly entertain guests. like a local, rent an apartment, and discover Paris in an original way. JauntTV takes us to the Paris flea market, also called Pastéis. Pastéis is considered the largest antique market and secondhand shop in the world and is only open on Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays. The market was officially created in 1885. The main street leads to the separate markets covering over 17 acres with 1,700 antique dealers and secondhand good dealers worldwide and gets up to 180,000 visitors each weekend. The flea market neighborhood where Pastéis is located is very colorful, with a diversity of personalities, stall keepers, and products for sale. Some stalls are covered, others are open-air markets, and every one of them overflows with varied goods from all periods and countries. At the flea market, you can bargain hunt classic antiques or restored top-end goods such as furniture, paintings, tapestries, linens, art items, books, lamps, and dishes. You can find beads, artwork, and other unusual items. You can also buy vintage clothes, shoes, and fashion accessories. It's a real goldmine for vintage item lovers and antique amateurs. Today, we'll visit two quaint French towns in Normandy, both with wood, timber, and architecture, Deauville and Honfleur. Deauville is an internationally known seaside resort nicknamed the Parisian Riviera. 2 hours northwest of Paris, it's known for its horses, prestigious horse racing, and polo matches. The casino is long established with as many slot machines as there are days of the year. There are many golf courses, but Deauville is most famous for its wide sandy beach and its seaside boardwalk that dates back to the 20s. Its sea-facing bathing cabins each bear the name of a celebrity who participated in the Deauville American Film Festival. Another 30 minutes from Deauville is the town of Honfleur. It's where the Seine River meets the English Channel. The enchanting old harbor is lined with tightly packed 16th to 18th century townhomes. Now, instead of receiving commercial ships or fishing boats which have been moved elsewhere, shops fight for space in this extraordinarily picturesque setting, while restaurants stretch their terraces across the cobblestones. The quarters around the port each have their distinctive character, with interesting buildings and narrow streets built that way to protect people from the winds. Both towns are charming places to visit. JauntTV heads to Madrid for only a day. A great way to see the city and not feel like you're missing out is sightseeing on a scooter. The experience allows one to see the city with a different point of view, moving about as many locals do. My city guide Daniel picked me up at my hotel near the Prado Museum in a classic Vespa. With helmets on, we went to well-known sites as well as some other not-so-well-known, checking out the historic architecture of Madrid that reflects a number of styles from various historical periods. We passed the Alcalá Gate, the famous 16th century Baroque landmark, and drove a lively shopping area. We stopped at the Plaza Mayor and looked around. We followed along the popular Retiro Park. We passed the Atocha station, the first railway station in Spain, and enjoyed a paella lunch with a group of scooter guides. The Cibles Mountain is the centerpiece of the Plaza de Cibles and is home to the City Hall. The Plaza de Oriente is a mid-19th century pedestrianized square bordering Madrid's royal palace with its famous lion fountain. On the journey, we saw some of the recognizable Fernando Botero sculptures, including the hand and Mujer con Esfero. For sports fans, we passed the home of Real Madrid, the Santiago Bernabeu Stadium. Finally, we stopped at Templo de Abad at dusk. It's an authentic Egyptian temple that was moved to Madrid. We covered a lot of Madrid in that classic Vespa. On the coast of northeastern Spain, Barcelona is the cosmopolitan capital of Spain's Catalonia region and is a top travel destination. Barcelona is known for its art and architecture, but it's the overall atmosphere that drives people to visit. The Montjuic cable car is a special way to discover the charms of the city. Its half-mile route allows you to enjoy unparalleled views of the old Port Vell that was rebuilt for the 1992 Barcelona Olympics and is now a focal point of the city with a mall, shops, a multiplex cinema, bars, restaurants, museums, and other attractions. The cable car lands at a tranquil park at the top of the mountain with manicured grounds and sweeping views of the city, while it sits next to the Montjuic Castle, which is an old military fortress, an ideal defensive site with roots dating back to 1640. The National Art Museum of Catalonia contains 1,000 years of art spanning from the 10th to the 20th century. And above it, atop Montjuic Hill, is the National Palace. With this view, you can see why the sprawling, fast-paced city of Barcelona is considered a hub of world culture, with the landmark four-column structure in front of the beautiful fountain. Please, let's not forget, you can't beat Barcelona's world-class cuisine, with paella and Iberico ham being top favorites. Yum! In the old city district of Barcelona is the Citadel Park. Designed to accommodate the Universal Exhibition, Spain's first international World's Fair, in 1888. The Arc de Triomphe was built as the gateway to the fair, which was held in the park. The monument is classical in shape and proportions and features groundbreaking sculptural and decorative finishes with numerous sculptures around the park. The Art Nouveau Castle of the Three Dragons building was built as a cafe restaurant and now houses the Zoological Museum. Originally the city's only green space, the idyllic park spans 70 acres and is a gathering place for people of all ages and all sorts of activities along its pathways. The Cascade Fountain sits center field with a pair of winged beasts on the bottom and gargoyles and golden horses on the top. With a large number of century-old trees and a lake where people enjoy rowing boats, the park makes for a great daytime outing. JauntTV takes a look at the art and architecture of Lisbon, Portugal. In the past 5 years, Lisbon has been rebuilding itself and is now considered one of the top places in Europe to visit. Lisbon still looks like itself with beautiful red-tiled roofs and hand-tiled buildings, as the craftsmanship, materials, and history all remain central to the renovation projects. Alfama is the oldest district in Lisbon and is a delightful maze of colorful buildings and narrow cobblestone streets which lead uphill. The area is also loaded with pedestrian walkways filled with local graffiti art. Reaching the top, the views are unparalleled. The Tagus waterfront in downtown Lisbon is another transformed area, with a lot of tourists enjoying the shopping, visiting the Rua Augusta Arch, and the Commerce Square. Other surrounding areas enjoy renewed life as well. The Belém Monastery is across the street from a refurbished park and near the new Museum of Art, Architecture, and Technology. The Mott building is located in a former power station with interesting and beautiful renewable energy and electric exhibits. Construction continues on the Belém waterfront with the orange San Francisco-like 25th of April suspension bridge. Lisbon has a lot of ongoing construction. We can't wait to come back and see more progress. Lisbon is a city known for its terracotta roofs and intricate tile work, but JauntTV found a favorite Portuguese dessert that takes the cake. These small egg tarts, pastéis de nata, are a delicious specialty all over Portugal. They are so yummy that people will wait in long lines to get them. A popular tourist place is Pastéis de Belém, but we found another bakery that makes only these tarts, served with coffee or hot chocolate. Mantecaria is located near the Chiado in Lisbon, and here we can see the entire baking process in front of us. The tarts have a cinnamon-flavored custard in a flaky puff pastry crust that is tightly rolled into logs and cut into half-inch slices. The dough goes into mini muffin tins and is pressed evenly to flatten itself against the bottom and sides. The filling starts with sugar, cinnamon, and boiling water. Then it's flour, hot milk, the syrup, add egg yolks, strain it, and pour it into the pastry shells. The trick here is to bake them in a very hot oven, which causes the custard to puff and the pastry to turn brown and crunchy. Top them with extra cinnamon and powdered sugar, total yum. And please do take some to go. Banks of the Tagus River in Belém, Lisbon, Portugal, the district from where the Portuguese great explorers set off, is the Museum of Art, Architecture, and Technology, otherwise known as the MOT. Part of the museum was once the Tejo Power Station, a converted power plant factory turned museum, which tells the story of electricity, with all the old working machinery still intact as fixtures. The exhibits portray the evolution of electricity with the largest collection of the history of electricity in Portugal, and takes us up to the age of renewable energies. The machinery is interestingly lit with colorful lighting and projections. Visitors can't help but learn how power was generated in the beginning of the 20th century. Chemically clean pure water moved through a boiler's furnace, inner tubes that were heated by the coal's combustion head and transformed into steam with high concentration of thermal power. A turbine would then rotate through gears, creating a magnetic field and transforming it into electrical power. Once the steam served its purpose, it would exit cold walls and return back into liquid form, starting the cycle all over again. Other parts of the old factory are used for event space, with the most spectacular windows providing a glorious view of the Tagus River. And this is only one part of the MOT. Sintra is a picturesque and quaint resort town set amidst the pine-covered foothills of Portugal's Sintra Mountains, near the capital of Lisbon. This hilly and slightly cooler climate enticed the nobility and elite of Portugal in the 19th century, who constructed exquisite palaces, extravagant mansions, and decorative gardens. Its forested terrain is studded with pastel-colored villas, with a variety of fascinating historic buildings and beautiful scenery. The town is loaded with shops and cafes and makes for a great day trip from Lisbon. Walking distance from the center of town is the Quinta de Regalaria, a stunning, decorative, stately home with the main attraction being the elaborate grounds. As a World Heritage Site by UNESCO, the gardens are filled with mystic symbolism and hidden features, which include secret tunnels, Gothic towers, and stone-fortified walls. The initiation well was thought to be used for Masonic initiation ceremonies. The hilltop, 19th century, Peña National Palace is known for its whimsical and colorful design, with sweeping views. All in all, Sintra takes the cake.